Hey guys, my name is Logan Andor Frost, and welcome to a very weird game called Let It Die. Now when I first seen the trailer for this game, it was one of those trailers that you never really knew what the hell it was, but it was really cool. And that's exactly what this game is. I feel like it's like the definition is it's super confusing, real weird, but also kind of awesome. Really, really awesome. It's in its kind of beta stages, I feel, so it's still so it's still not like really crisp, and there's some things I have problems with, but I'll do my best to explain what this is. It's kind of a showcase, if you will, of the game, because I don't think anyone's really done that, and this game is actually really cool if you're able to get past a few things. Also, it is a free-to-play game, so you can get it at any point on PS4 only, I believe. And the microtransactions thus far have not been insane, which is awesome. But regardless, let's jump into Let It Die.
Let it die.
Yeah, and it's kind of got this weird, if you ever played games like Slaughterhouse or, what's the other one? It's like a really well-known one. Voice in my head.
Yeah, that was Catherine.
That one, yeah. It's like a weird dream one. That one also, there was another one. Voice in my head.
And that one would be Killer is Dead.
All of these games I love to tears. I haven't played all of them, but I love them to tears. I love their art style, and this game very much has that kind of like true Japanese horror, but not like scary. It's like a horror genre, but not like terrifying. It's not like trying to scare the shit out of you. It's more like there's a monster that looks... Are we okay? The lag is real right now. Anyways, there's monsters that look like this, and also like this. It's like there's a bit of a mixed emotions there. But as you guys can see, it's really gritty. Also, I've played not too much of it, so there will probably be a part 2 of this. And this first part may just be me in the, or kind of like tower or wherever you want, me explaining shit. We're actually probably in the dungeon, because how this game works is it's kind of built off of the classic tower mentality. So you're trying to get to the summit of the peak, but God help you, is everything getting worse the higher you get up. It gets colder and more brutal, except as it gets colder, it gets more bloody and more horrifying. And we'll explain the negatives I have in this game in a few seconds, but first let me explain the game, because it does a decent job of explaining stuff to you, but not good enough, especially not giving you a direction to move. Then again, it does, and that's simply up. But what the fuck is up, and how do I get there? It's a big thing. So we might be actually running through the first couple levels, because I'll be able to blitz through them probably, and hopefully memory serves, because this game is very much level based. But first, the concept of Let It Die. The concept of the game, Let It Die. What is it, and how does it work? How does it function? Well, essentially, again, your main quest is to get to the summit of the tower, because essentially you're in this like dystopian future that kind of has magic, definitely has demons, but more so has the foundation of, again, like a classic game of getting to the summit. And the way it controls is extremely weird and kind of the only thing I really have a problem with. But then again, we'll talk about it. Anyways. So that's one aspect of the game, is you're trying to get to the summits, and you have all these weapons that are bonkers beyond belief. You have this one, which is a firework launcher, which is pretty sweet. It's not accurate, but you can get accurate guns. You also have your fist. This is the thing I use completely, because guns have a deterioration, which can just go away instantly. So I never really use melee weapons, because essentially one of the things you can do in this game is go to this. It's a little handbook. We go over to, where is it? Master level. So each weapon, the more you use it, the more you will unlock for it. Unlocking like special heavy attacks and etc., or being able to absorb more damage when you take damage. I choose this because it's something that's always going to be here for me. I got more stamina for it, more damage, more rage. Rage is essentially you channeling this blue essence, which is really sweet. I can actually show it to you, but I also unlocked this thing that is a heavy attack, which is where? Where is it, damn it? Oh, it's level 5. It's really nice. It's really convenient, actually. Essentially, you just unlock this massive power hit, which I think I showed you guys just now. It is close. It is this. Boom! It takes a very long time to wind up, but then again, the combat in this game is probably its weakest or best point. It's one of the hard things to decide on. Anyways, moving on. I gotta explain the game. So, you might be like, oh dude, your character looks really sweet and badass. Your characters do not matter in this game. Let me rephrase that. Don't care about your character is what I'm trying to say. The reason why is because Let It Die has a mentality of you are a spirit, not the body. So you have many other characters. In fact, every time you die, your character gets thrown in this frozen locker. Yeah. This is where it gets weird. So you have a bunch of different character slots that you can have. I imagine since this is a free-to-play game, in the future you'll be able to buy more slots and have more characters. Now you might be like, well, why would I want more than one character? One, when your character dies, you will need to have another character. You can either spawn in a whole new character or using one of your existing characters. You will need to go kill your past self in order to collect your past self. So this is how it works. When you die, you are dead in that location or the floor that you die. Now, you'll be spawned back here with one of your other characters. Now, your other character has to kill that said person, your other character that just died. Which is super, super bad if you only really play one character and that character is a powerhouse, because that guy has enhanced AI almost, so he's going to be a lot harder than the enemies you face just on a base level, and he has your OP weapons that you're probably using. And yeah, so essentially how I'm trying to build it is I'm trying to build my all-around well-balanced character, and then I'm going to be building one that's completely and utterly damage-based, and then I'm going to be building another one, which is probably my third one, for looting, because you can actually build, like, there's stats like luck, which allow you to get more money, and that's insanely valuable, especially if you're trying to gear up. So one of the things I like about the character development in this game is you can actually buy a certain type of character. If we go yes, we can buy one. We go into this weird mode. The intro to this game is amazing, but I'll leave that to you guys because it kind of explains a lot of the stuff, which we will go over, but still. So as you guys can see, we have all rounded. There is going to be other things in the future, I think. You can have a person that's completely built to be a powerhouse, like just damage oriented, etc. You can have another person that can have more tattoos on their body, which are very important, and we'll get to that in a sec. You can also have a person that's kind of like your character that gets you money, because I do believe money and experience is account-wide. Essentially, you can pick a character that is like a person that you play just to get money and to get souls and just kind of be that. The character that kind of takes care of the money situation of your characters, I guess. And then you can play a character that's the absolute brute tank, which would be amazing if any of the other characters died. If he dies, that's why you should have a well-rounded character that kind of does everything real right. You can also build a character that's really tanky. You can also build a character that's high in dex, which is long-range weapons. And then you can have a character that's high in strength, which is like a one-shot kill person. And luck and vitality and strength and HP and all those should make sense to you if you played any other game. And yeah, you can also play characters that have a higher built-in resistance, I believe, and stuff like that. I don't want to do any of that because it feels like it's not available right now. And again, I really want to get a character that's completely bloodlust, like completely put it all in strength, because I want to pick him when I need to kill somebody, because and it's really not hard to level up in this game. I played for, I think, 4 hours tops, and I'm good, like 100% okay. Now, you guys are probably saying, well, dude, that's kind of shit that I have to go kill my past self, and what happens if I can't? Well, that's kind of a gray area. So the thing with this game is it's so weird that you kind of can play it a bunch of different ways. It's kind of like not locked down into itself, so you can kind of play everything. So for instance, I had this powerhouse of a character that's level 21 and almost max level for the all-rounded character base I have. So I have this character, he died, and I had to use my level 1 bastard who couldn't fucking hit for shit, and it sucked. But what I ended up doing is I ended up just running through enemies, and he ended up fighting them for me, and I was just sitting there watching. It took like 20 minutes, but I was able to get my character back. And you can kind of manipulate the game that way. It's almost like this game is made to be broken, just like old games were. Like, you need to know the little tiny tricks in order to really excel. On a side note, that's very enemy specific. Some enemies will rock you until you find out their pattern, and then you'll just kill them instantly. One of the enemies I died to was the fucking drill bastards, which I'll show you guys, and they suck. They suck a mad dick. Anyways, moving on. Should have used a better analogy there for just sucking down. Okay, so I explained the way checkpoints work to a certain extent, which there aren't any. You just have to kill your past self. Anyways, how progressing works in this game, really not that complicated. You're just trying to get higher, so it's a level-based game. So the first floor is really easy. The second floor is not so easy. There's the third floor, and it keeps stacking up that way, but also the higher you get, the more blueprints you get to spawn, the more boss fights you get, the more awesome armor you acquire, so it's very cool in that sense. Now, one of the questions you guys are probably having is, dude, it's a free-to-play game. What is it like? Because a lot of free-to-play games have an awful stigma of, like, things are annoying for the sake of being annoying so that you pay money, or things are long for the sake of being long so you pay money. The only thing that I've seen advertised for money in this game, and I think I can show it to you guys, hopefully. So as you guys can see, the main thing they're offering is called death medals. Now you might be like, well, what the hell is a death medal? Death medals are the thing that you get, I think, daily. They give you like one per day. That's on a passive level. But what they are is they will take away the aspect of you having to collect your body. So there's this weird insurance thing in the game. This is respawning, except that costs money, but it's not needed. So it's essentially there for people that hate having to go kill their old self, which is kind of understandable. It sounds bad. They're monetizing a checkpoint, but it's not that bad, if I can make it sound that bad. Essentially, death medals are insurance, which aka are checkpoints. So if you die, she will come to and be like, hey, do you want to respawn right now, or do you want to go do the mechanic we have in play, where you have to go kill your past self? Do you want to do that? Hey guys, here's me in the future. I have a killer cold, but I want to quickly explain the 3 things I didn't do a great job of. I tried, but it didn't really work out really well. So essentially, it's what happens when you die. This is the one thing that can be extremely daunting, but it's really not that bad. Again, like I said, I went up against at this point, in the future, I've played the game a lot more, and I've gotten to the 10th floor and above. Essentially, I've had like a level 35 or so character, and I've went up against him with my level 1 character, and was still able to kill him. Believe it or not, level doesn't matter all too much. You can still cut down people. Again, it's all about knowing the AI and knowing how to fuck with people a little bit. And yeah, it's pretty not that bad, honestly. So that's one of the ways you can do it, is when you die, your body will be left on that floor. Go to the floor, kill your past self, and then he'll immediately be teleported to the freezer, in which you can just reclaim him there. So that's one way you can respawn. They're probably like the funner way to respawn. Anyways, also it's kind of shitty because it takes a little bit longer. Anyways, not the point. The other thing you can do is spend a death medal to raise instantly where you died. You'll not lose anything. You'll still have your supplies, everything in your inventory, etc. The third thing you can do, which is probably the best, is always keep around $6,000 in your bank. So that's 6,000 kill coins. You can also, if the character dies, instead of going to that floor to reclaim him, you can actually pay a toll for the Reaper guy to kill him and to bring him to the thing, but he requires kill coins to do that. So you're essentially paying for your character again, and it's not that bad, especially considering you get all the stuff in your character's inventory. All of his weapons and armor is still on him, so nothing gets deteriorated, etc. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. It's really good. I made the mistake of not having enough kill coins in my bank to reclaim one of my high level characters, so be sure to do that. But then again, we also have something else to talk about, which is a bit of a negative for me, at least for me, in this game. And yeah, but then again, it's so weird because so many things as a negative in this game could be seen as like a massive positive. So, anyways. Yep, 15 minutes in. I knew we'd just be talking about the idea of this game for the whole thing. On the next part, again, I'll try to run through the levels with you guys. And yeah, then again, haven't played it in a while, so it may be brutal, but anyways. Also, guys, forgive me, I have a cold right now. Also, it's Christmas right at the time of this video. I'm not sure when you're gonna be seeing it, but or holidays. Please don't hurt me. We covered progression. We've covered the pay to win and the weird checkpoint system. Cool. Those are the 2 hardest things to swallow in this game. Because it's super, because they're things that are terrifying. They bring you the concept of what happens when you die in the very beginning, but it's hard to wrap your head around how it's going to play out or how you're going to overwhelm those odds until it happens. And that's a worrisome thing you're going to face. Don't treat it like it's insane. If you die, you die. Again, I think the next day you'll have your character respawn just on a base level, and that's great. Death medals are essentially you being able to checkpoint, but you don't have to. You can go and kill your past self, get your character, good. Sorry. You do have to pay a little bit, but it's never been an insane amount. It might get more when you start to get high level, but at that point, if you make precautions like getting a looter character, you should be fine. All right, so let's cover combat. Then we'll cover gear, and then we'll see what happens. Anyway, so combat in this game is very much centered to your left hand and your right hand. So you can have a bunch of different weapons. You guys can see my hands jolting. Sadly, I don't have any weapons equipped because I don't really use any other melee weapon but my fist because I'm trying to level that up. Just because if I end up in a situation where I don't have a weapon, I want to be able to wreck shop. Also, my fist never deteriorates, which I really hope they don't patch because it's a nice fallback. Like, it's not even close to as good as some of the actual weapons in the game, but I believe it can be if you start grinding out it first. I think. It's a theory I have. I'm not sure if it's valid. Please. Anyways, regardless, so again, you have your basic punches. Then you have your heavy hits. As you guys can see, you guys can start to see my hearts. Now that's another form of combat. You can actually tire yourself out completely. In fact, if we run a ton, this game's so anime. I fucking love it. Anyways, just the way he runs, it seems real intense. As you guys can see, my heart's going bonkers. You will stop completely, which is a death sentence in this game. Now you can choose whatever hand you have. I just have it on left being my guns and my right being my melee. You can have it vice versa if you desire. But yeah, some guns you can aim down sights, others you can't, so you will just fire it on a base level if you choose to. Like this one, it kind of just aims for you. He aims in the vicinity where you're at, but if there's an enemy, he'll kind of like narrow in on them. The long-range weapons don't seem to do that much damage. I would love to see a bow, like an actual like compound bow, that'd be really sweet. And two-handed weapons do exist. I have not gotten one though, because actually no, I have, yeah. You just have to. It doesn't like take up 2 slots. It just kind of takes up 1, but he holds 2. It's weird. Well, on a side note, before we do anything, let's go ahead and open up this box because I don't know where it is. Your kind of senpai or master, you're the person that is your guide through this insane world is this death, essentially death. Skater death, let's call him. I don't know. He chills out on a skateboard all the time. Yes, and we get 4. See, like the death medals are not insanely hard to come by, so you don't need to go kill your past self all the time, and it's kind of nice this way. Although I would have loved a blueprint, but I appreciate that game still. I don't mean to become ungrateful. Anyways, let's quickly initiate you guys into the madness that is the characters in this game by simply going here. I'm stepping into the weird center, going here, and yeah, pretty colors. You are playing a video game, and this game is very much aware of it. Again, this is the guy, I guess this is like the non-dystopian world, so we're essentially a guy playing a video game within a video game. Real meta, but give it a minute. Anyways, this guy's like a major league player. He's gonna tell you what to do.
Huh? Yeah, sure, I can talk now. I can beat this guy with my eyes closed. Here, I'll give you a tip.
Yeah, and this game is kind of not, it doesn't shove tips down your throat, so it's not going to be like, do this, do that. You can seek this person out, and he will give you excess information to deal with certain enemies, to eat certain food, what food is good, I imagine, all those things. He'll also tell you how to reload a gun, which the game doesn't explicitly tell you. So it's kind of like, it's a game that kind of plays with the idea that some people hate when games and tooltips are constantly flashing on the screen. People just like to play and experience the game and then figure that out along the way. I don't. I hate that shit. I like to know as much information as I can so I can dominate the world that I'm playing. And yeah, he's telling me how to block damage. I knew that. Or with your bare hands, which I actually have. At first, your hands do no defense damage when you block, but I've been playing with them a lot, so they're like, I don't know, rock solid. I don't know. My bones are dense. Just guard with good timing, and the enemy will actually stagger back. You look pretty dumb if you mess it up, though. Huh. I didn't know that, though. So if I block at the right time, I can actually stagger somebody. So I guess it's gotta be like an instant, Okay, so yeah, guarding reduces damage significantly. Kind of lets you pay it forward, so you block, you hit, that kind of thing. But you can fight a lot weirder and a lot better. Hard to say, I guess. And then how you get quests in this game is by this overly dramatic teen. She's not dramatic. She's like dead.
Who keeps sticking gum under the counter? Oh, that's mine.
Boom! No, but she's super annoying. Super annoying. Anyways, so these are the missions you have. They're really not crazy. It's like go to said level in the tower and kill X amount of enemies. So you just have to go through the tower a couple times. The one thing I would appreciate if they did with the game is they let me respawn the level. So if I go to an elevator, I wish I could hit a button that literally just loads the level again, so I don't have to go to the bottom floor, then go to the floor I was just at, and then that causes me to spend a ton more money. I would prefer if I could just reset a level, because a lot of times you miss a screamer or you miss a certain person, and it's a bit annoying. Capture frogs in the tower. Oh, that's super. That's a give me. That's a really easy one. Yeah, so some of them give you money, others give you like a blueprint, I think. I'm not sure. I shouldn't say that just because.
Oh, hey. Finally decided to wake up? I thought you were dead or something.
And we're back in the game, so it's very much like a game. Again, if you do the intro, you'll get 100% what it's playing off of. There is also a multiplayer aspect to it, which I will never touch. Probably will never jump into multiplayer, because just no. No. I like experience in the world, especially a game that has such a weird world. I'm in. So this guy is the vendor, but like, not really. It's weird. Okay, so here's how this works. Okay, so essentially this is the vendor, but not really. As you guys can see, I can buy stuff from him, but not really. So how you buy things from this guy is you need to first equip him with the means to make it. So, throughout your journeys, you will be collecting blueprints. Now, getting the blueprints is only half the battle. You'll randomly stumble across a blueprint page, go get it, go to an elevator, come back down, go up to this guy, he'll take it, and get these schematics for it, and it'll get out of your inventory. Also, you can sell it if he already has it, and you'll have a ton of money because it sells for a really high price. Anyways, not the point. So that's half the battle, so you're halfway through it. The other portion is getting him to make it at least once, and then when he makes it once, you can actually buy it. So for instance, I need to get 1 cotton, and that's not that bad for my pants. I need to get 1 cotton for my shirt as well, and I need to get 1 hemp for my mask. and oil, etc. So you just go and get all these supplies and bring them back to him, and you're a-okay. So yeah, to condense that down a little bit, bring the guy blueprints, get him to make it, and he'll always have it in his shop for you to buy, which is really nice, and money is not the hardest thing to come by in this game. So, good on that. Now, you're probably really wanting to know what the hell this or this is, whatever your take on it is. It's, I'm in the middle. It's like, oh, sweet, and then the other person's like, what? Why does this exist?
Oh, how I have been waiting for you, fellow believer in the power of the mushrooms. The secret of my success. The secret of my success. The secret of my success.
So she's titled as like this mushroom person, but she's not really that. She's a person that gives you tattoos or stickers. The more stickers than tattoos, I think. But regardless, these are side buffs that your character can have. My character, since he's the jack of all trades, can only have one. But you can have another body that allows you to have multiple tattoos. And if we go to change icon, you guys can see that we can have a bunch of tattoos all over our body. Also, do you guys see those disgusting black veins? They're actually kind of cool, but anyways, moving on. I have the one that I want, which is this one. Essentially, every time I damage someone, I heal. So if I'm really low on health or half health, if I'm really careful, I can get my health back. And yeah, that's kind of the way I play as well. I play super conservatively. Like, it takes me like half an hour to get through one level, just because I'm really trying to milk that. Then again, since I got better at combat, I don't have to stick around for that long. But the thing I'm kind of sad by is that you can't have multiple tattoos. So for instance, you guys see the mosquito tattoo, the one I have is only one. I can only have one tattoo. Again, I'm pretty sure you can get other bodies that allow you to have a ton more tattoos, which is pretty nice. Also, I think you can have a higher rage gauge. Okay, so what is rage, first of all? This is rage. Oh, damn, I don't have any rage. I'll show it to you guys when you start progressing through levels. But yeah, rage is essentially a thing you channel and allows you to hit harder and like these badass moves. And yeah, the other stuff is like clothes have a dex modifier, a strength modifier, a health modifier, etc. But everything in this game is disposable, hence why I gravitated to my fists being my primary mode of combats, because everything goes away, but your hands kind of don't. So yeah. Again, this awesome outfit I made is gonna go away super fast. And don't look at me and say that fucking knee pads with bicycle seats on them aren't the coolest thing on the planet. Anyways, regardless, yes, so this armor will break really fast, depending on the armor, I guess, but don't get used to your armor. There'll be moments where you go from looking like this, and then half an hour later, you'll be in the nude, because every enemy have just ripped your armor apart. So, that's a thing that will happen. And yeah, the reason why I'm spending so long on explaining this game, guys, is because I was trying to look for this kind of video that explained the concept of this game and how to go about it, and no video really did that. So, yeah, this is me trying to make up for that shortcoming that I found within my situation. Yeah, so in the next video, guys, that's when we're going to be actually jumping into the gameplay of it. I'm sorry to get to show it to you guys too much right now. It's just I really wanted to get through all of the tiny details that are very important. But yeah, definitely cook healing items, because more often than not, they heal you for more. Alright, so that is the game, guys. Those are the weird characters that exist within it. We'll explain the gameplay when we're actually playing it, because it's a bit weird with the blocking, charging your hit, and then fighting, and etc. But that brings us to the final conclusion of this showcase, I guess. Not the final, we're going to still play it. But anyways, there are the problems that I have with this game. First of all, as you guys can see, I'm very excited about it. I very much like it, but I don't like the combat that much at all. And I realize what it's going for, and I realize what it's trying to be. I just don't like the wonkiness of it. Essentially, it's the kind of combat that is locked, which I hate, because I feel like if my brain should work faster, and I should get rewarded for that. Not if I think more ahead, I should get rewarded for that, which maybe is not what the designers are going for. And yeah, let me explain what I mean by the combat. If I hit the melee button a couple times, 1, 2, I can't cancel that. So if I go 1, 2, and for some reason I'm not close enough, or the enemy it clipped through them or something like that, they'll end up hitting me despite me mashing the dodge button or the block button. It won't cancel your move. So essentially, I want the game to work as fast as my brain does. So if I go punch, and then I see the enemy is like I was just out of range, so my punch didn't stagger them, and they're going to hit me, I want to cancel my punch and block. And I realize that may look weird, or like kind of gamey, the fact that I was just in a full punch stance and he just like shotgun to block stance. I realize that may look weird, but I kind of prefer it that way, just because it feels, again, it feels like the person that plans a stupid amount in advance is going to be rewarded opposed to the person that can think faster. Essentially, I want to change my path if I need to. So if I go punch, I want to immediately be able to roll away even if I don't get that second punch in. Yeah, the combat is the only thing I would really like it to change, and I would really like, instead of there being a dodge button, if there was also a dash. And I wouldn't mind if that takes up like twice the stamina or something. I would love that ability to essentially sidestep, kind of like a Dark Souls dodge, like a dash to the right that would save you from getting your ass handed to you, because that way I feel like it'd be a more visceral combat opposed to it being like, this is your dodge. You literally just dive 10 feet away from the person and you have to go back. And at that point, they're probably getting ready to punch you, and etc. So how I've gotten around the combat that I don't really like is I never really dodge to an insane degree, nor do I ever block. What I do is I wait for the enemy to hit me, and I back up the perfect amount because I know their arms or their weapons can't reach me, and they just barely hit me because the hitbox in this game is actually fairly good. So the weapon will just about hit me, and as soon as that happens, I'll power hit them. But as well as doing that, because sometimes that doesn't work as well, because some enemies have like a fast weapon that hits fast, because this... I'm trying to leave. You guys see there's a bit of hang time there. An enemy will punch you in that tiny time span and get you stun locked, and you'll have to like get a ton more damage than you want to be taken away from you. So that's how enemies work. You guys will understand when we start going into the actual gameplay. But if what I've oftentimes done is, instead of rolling away or I don't know, just backing off, which again, that's why I really want like a sidestep, like a dash to dash perfectly. And again, I could just see the amazing combat for being like hit, sidestep, like a little tiny little jolt to the left. I would love that kind of combat. That's the only thing I want from the combat. It can stay the same as long as I can, because I feel like that fixes my problem, because I feel like too many times you have to fight, and then disengage massively to just get like away from an enemy's attack. Because I'm sorry, if there's a way that I can not get any damage opposed to a less damage, I'm gonna go with no damage. So I'm gonna run, even if that fight takes longer. Blah, my tongue got all weird there. But yeah, I shouldn't explain the combat stuff. We're gonna talk about that probably in the next part where we're actually doing some combat. Hey guys, me here in the future with a bad cold. It's got way worse. I'm sorry, my voice sounds weird. But one of the things I wanted to mention was the problem that I had with the game. And it's so weird because this game has so many layers that sometimes your problems aren't really problems. Like they're there to be there for a reason. It's almost like a pillar that if you take down that pillar, it takes away another pillar that you love. So it's a bit weird the way the game's structured. Again, in part 3, we're going to go into the details of like the world space. Part 2 is still me in this sitting. Part 3 is when I'm past level 10 and I know my shit to a certain degree. And I can explain things a lot better, I think. Anyways, regardless, so yeah, part 3 will be explaining the layers behind the things I talked about. Anyways, the only problem that I have that is still just as big as it's always been, like the other ones have kind of subsided because again they have a purpose to a certain degree. Anyways, that problem being the PvP portion, or a very specific part of the PvP portion of this game. So one of the things you can do is you essentially are piloting these husks. You are leveling these up and you are kind of specializing them in certain aspects. At least you should be. So you can make a tank, you can make a killer, you can make a looter, etc. So one of the things you can do is you can send these husks for other players. Now, I was under the impression that you could only send your husks to people on your friends list, which you guys will see in the next game, or the next video. But I don't think that's the case, because I got a bunch of people sending bullshit at me that I do not know. Maybe I just haven't checked my friends list in a while, but I don't think that's the case. Anyways, not the point. So that is a mechanic within the game, is you can send your husks to kill other players. Now you might be asking, why would I want to do this? Well, you end up getting their money and their souls. Not all of them, just a tiny portion. So you can collect money this way and etc. It's just another thing for your husks to do. Your armor and stuff does break though if you do send them out with armor, and so that's kind of like a negative, I guess. Not really. You can easily buy armor. It's super not a negative. Anyways, now I was super worried about this mechanic because essentially you could, in theory, and it's actually in reality because I've faced it, you can be playing a level 1 character, going up the first level, and someone could send a level 50 character for you, and you get dead. And that to me is complete bullshit because it boycotts a ton of the player base for people actually playing this game and investing in it. If they die when they're just trying to get to know it, it's super fucking bad. Don't think that should be the case at all. But I can report back that is super not the case. You can get level 50s to drop on you, and it can be really shitty, but you can also beat them as a level 1. I've done it. I beat level 50 when I was level 1. It's not that bad. You think it'd be pretty bad. It's not that bad because AI is weird, and also it can be horrible, by the way. You can get one shot. But there's so many things in this game that revolve around you, like not getting hit and playing the AI because they're AI, not because they're humans. And there's that, so that's a bit weird. But yeah, you can definitely game the system, which I think is what the game's built on. So yes, you can beat level 50s. Is it hard? Yes. Does it take some time? Yes. Does it piss you off? Absolutely. Hence why I have a problem with it, because not that I'm mad like rage quitting. It's just like, again, you don't want to make a newbie rage quit because they'll never fucking come back. They're just going to piss off because they're mad about it. It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, so yeah, that's one of the mechanics that I don't like. Oh, by the way, I don't think I mentioned this shit. So when you get to a floor, it'll say X person sent this bastard after you. It doesn't say the level. It just says the name of the user. So you can like get, I guess, shit on them back. I don't know. Regardless, that's what you can do. So that's how you encounter these people. So you're going through these levels, and eventually one of their husks, and it'll have their AI gamer tag on it. They'll be trying to kill you, and that's how that works. Now, the thing that I absolutely can't stand is it doesn't have a cooldown. So you could be playing for I think I played for an hour, and I got jumped 7 times. We're gonna call it jumped because that's exactly what it is. I got jumped 7 times by like high level 50s, 40s, 30s, etc. And that's some bullshit. That I can't tell you how much bullshit that is. That's fucking annoying as shit. You just playing the game trying to enjoy yourself, and then layer after layer after layer of enemies just keep coming at you that are like over leveled, and it's kind of terrifying because they one-shot you. It's like not fun at that point. That's something that I feel like they should have a cooldown on, like at least an hour cooldown, so you can get attacked once, and then at least like let me recover. Fucking Christ, don't just keep drowning me. It basically feels like you're getting kicked on the ground, and some people might be like, but I like that challenge, or that's super fun. Well, yeah, you're a troll and an asshole. Fuck off. I'm sorry, but I'm really triggered by this because it happens so much. But it's just, again, it gets too much. It gets to the point where it's just like, God, I feel like I can't even catch my breath because everyone's throwing shit at me. Like, why do people hate me this much? That's the feelings you feel when you're constantly going up against these overpowered enemies. They're not overpowered, but over-leveled. And you don't really get anything out of it. You don't even get that much money out of killing them. They do. You don't. Fucking dumb. Really stupid. And I can report I have never done it once. I've never sent one of my husks to kill another fucking person because I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not a piece of garbage. Alright? Shit. Fucking God, I hate people. Anyways, and if it is only tied to your friends list, and I'm just unaware of like who's on my friends list, then dude, I'm gonna unfriend everybody. It's just easy. I'm not even kidding. By the way, there's a lot more PvP stuff. Again, we'll explain it all in part 3, but let's outro this thing with me in the future, or past self. Anyways, regardless, guys, in the next video, I will be actually playing, and at that, I might be talking like, hey guys, what's up? Because I have a bad cold, and turns out talking for 4 hours whilst you have a throat cold, not the best look. Regardless, guys, my name is Logan Andor Frost. I'm sorry if I over-explain things. I just really wanted to do this because I played this game. I think it has so much potential. I think it's so weird and amazing. But I had a lot of questions because a lot of it's explained in text box, which is... Some people don't like to read that much. They just want to play the game. A lot of people probably skip past some stuff that is core to the game itself. And yeah, not to be weird, but if I would have had this type of video when I was thinking about playing the game, I would have wanted to watch that video. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to make up for the shortcoming that I found because I didn't see any content for this game, and god damn, is that amazing. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching as always. My name is Logan Andor Frost, and bye guys.